No one turned up for my daughter's operation. 3 days after, my father messaged, "Could you transfer $4,000 for your brother's wedding outfit?" I replied with 25 cents and the note, "Get him a necktie." Then I restricted their entry to my financial profiles. The following day, I received a phone call from, "Hello Reddit," using a disposable account for anonymity. I'm Ava, 32F, a lone parent to my brave 9-year-old named Emily. If you need to witness how relatives can abandon you during your toughest moments, this is my tale. The previous week was the most challenging of my existence. Emily, my child, was scheduled for major heart procedure, a date highlighted boldly on our schedule for ages. I informed my parents, my sibling Adam, the favored one, 29M, and our aunt too, pleading genuinely for anyone to join me at the medical center. Not for my sake, but for Emily, so she could sense the affection. On the day, I was updating them constantly. Emily repeatedly inquired, "Is Grandma arriving? Grandpa? Uncle Adam?" And each instance, I fibbed, "They're heading over, darling." Yet the time stretched endlessly, and nobody appeared. No rings. No texts. Simply the empty, buzzing glow of the waiting area lights, me solitary with a machine-brewed drink. She pulled through successfully. I rang my parents right when I heard, left an audio message, "Emily's fine. She's inquiring about you constantly." Silence. 3 days passed. Not a peep. Then, suddenly, a message from Dad. "Ava, could you wire $4,000 for Adam's wedding attire? He desires that Armani piece. It's pressing." No inquiry about Emily, her procedure, or me. Just directly to the cash, treating me like a cash dispenser. That broke me. I transferred 25 cents through PayPal with the memo. "Purchase a necktie, best wishes." Then I took steps. I managed our shared family crisis account, created for Mom's health costs, Adam's unemployment spells, Dad's vehicle fixes, always crises, always covered by me. I secured it. I deleted all from.
Like, subscribe, and smash that bell before it smashes you. Stay with Reddit Tales Times for chilling twists, haunting tales, and daily doses of the disturbing. You've been warned.
The shared Netflix, Spotify, and mobile service, benefits they'd relied on for ages. I updated every code. If they required anything, they could request from the daughter they ignored. The next dawn, my device was ringing endlessly. It was Mom. And this occasion, it wasn't regarding Emily. She was yelling furiously. I hadn't even completed my brew before the communications flooded. First Mom, then Dad, then Adam, each more desperate than before. My device shook continuously, the shared conversation erupting with queries and "Ava, what's happening?" and "Netflix isn't streaming, did you alter the code?" For a moment, I thought about dismissing them entirely. But after the 12th ignored ring, I responded, preparing for the typical blame game. My mother skipped greetings. She was sobbing and yelling simultaneously. "Ava, what have you done? Why are we blocked from the crisis fund? Adam's marriage is in 2 weeks, he requires those funds for his outfit. Your dad mentions the family mobile service is down, and the screen shows the profile is paused. Are you attempting to spoil your brother's special occasion?" I allowed her to vent. A portion of me nearly wished to regret it, nearly. But then I recalled being isolated in that vacant medical waiting space, deceiving my child and pondering what sort of relatives could be so uncaring. I inhaled deeply and steadily. "Mom, where were you 3 days back when Emily underwent the procedure?" I questioned softly, but steadily. She kept seeking her grandparents. I phoned, I messaged, I even forwarded images from the facility. You never responded. Do you realize how frightened she was? Mom stayed silent. I heard Dad grumbling behind, his tone obscured and irritated. She attempted once more, her voice cutting. "Don't divert the topic. We're discussing Adam's marriage, not Emily's medical matter. You understand its significance to everyone. You're acting self-centered, Ava. That triggered it. Self-centered. I echoed, disbelieving. Is it self-centered to desire my relatives to value my child enduring major heart procedure? Is it self-centered to wish for somebody, anybody, to accompany me as I awaited the physician's update? Or is it only self-centered when I cease being your cash machine? I heard her respiration, furious and trapped. You always pull this. You turn everything toward yourself. We're relatives, relatives support one another. Your sibling has strived so much for this event. He merits his ideal outfit. That familiar pain, reminiscent of being 12 again, craving notice while Adam received endless acclaim. I suppressed it. You know, Mom. For years, I've funded the mobile service, the streaming platforms, even the crisis fund, since you perpetually had excuses. Adam was jobless. Dad's vehicle malfunctioned. You required aid with shopping. But when Emily required you, you vanished. Not even a message. So I'm finished. Henceforth, I'm prioritizing my child. A prolonged quiet ensued. For the initial time, my mother seemed speechless. Eventually, she barked. I hope you're satisfied. You've shattered this family due to some immature resentment. Don't anticipate us rushing when you need assistance next. I nearly chuckled. I never did, Mom. That's precisely the issue. I ended the call. My palms trembled, but not from remorse. From liberation. For the first time in ages, I selected myself and Emily. But inwardly, I knew my relatives wouldn't allow me to depart without resistance. The calm didn't persist. By midday, my device buzzed anew, this time with furious texts flooding, not solely from my parents and Adam, but from my aunt, 2 cousins, and even Adam's bride-to-be, Priya. The shared conversation was in total chaos. Priya, Ava, please don't wreck this for Adam. He's already so tense. Can't you simply assist with the outfit? It's his major event. Cousin Neha, everyone's discussing your self-centeredness. We all depend on the crisis fund. You can't simply bar us. Dad, contact me immediately. This is intolerable. We relied on you for the profiles. Adam, wow, so you're truly going to penalize me for something beyond my control. Just because Emily had a procedure. Really? Aunt Sunita, I always warned your mother this might occur. You've allowed this autonomy to overwhelm you. Relatives prioritize, Ava. Each text hurt uniquely, but Adam's was the harshest. I'd devoted years rescuing him, settling his debts, endorsing his rental when he failed, handling sudden costs because he's still seeking his direction. Not once did he check on Emily. They didn't desire a sister, a daughter, an aunt. They desired a financial institution with a personality. That evening, Adam attempted ringing again. I nearly ignored it, but interest prevailed. His manner was chilly, blending rage and injured ego. So that's the end. You're simply abandoning us. After all Mom and Dad provided for you. I restrained a sour chuckle. Adam, list one thing they've done for me in the last 5 years that wasn't demanding funds. Just one. He stammered. They offered shelter, meals, all. You wouldn't possess your position without Dad's acquaintance. You behave as if you're superior because you earn more now. I sensed the old embarrassment emerging, but I dismissed it. Adam, I'm not superior to anyone. I'm just tired of being exploited. I requested one thing, some backing for Emily. Nobody arrived. Not even a text. He sneered. Well, perhaps if you weren't so theatrical, folks would offer aid. Look, just forward the funds and we'll erase this incident. I'll even suggest to Mom to include Emily as a flower bearer or similar. That was the ultimate trigger. I stated softly, if you believe my child's value is a payoff, you don't understand me whatsoever. Or her. Don't ring unless it's to express regret. I disconnected. Following that, I silenced the shared conversation, blocked Adam's contact, and for the first occasion in my grown life, I felt unburdened. The remorse, the duty, the unseen restraint, they all vanished. But as I set my device aside, I couldn't avoid pondering, would my relatives ever recognize what they'd forfeited? Or had I permanently become the antagonist in their narrative? The tranquility only endured a few days. On Thursday morning, my device erupted once more. Shared notifications, irate recordings, and a surge of personal texts from kin I hadn't communicated with in years. Adam's social media update worsened everything. When your own sibling values cash over relatives, you begin to perceive true natures. My marriage should be a festivity, but instead I'm handling greed and disloyalty. Appreciate nothing, Ava. In hours, I was managing texts from all sides. Aunt Maya, Ava, just dispatch the funds, don't prolong this. It's your sibling's marriage. Adam's fiancée, Priya, we're merely seeking minor aid. Adam is deeply wounded by your actions. Cousin Neha, you've barred everyone from the crisis fund and spoiled our streaming. We're all debating it, you realize. It seemed like all had awaited a pretext to attack. But this time, I declined to retreat. I didn't respond. Not to the group, not to the private messages, not to the sarcastic remarks beneath Adam's update. For each charge, I merely recalled being alone at the facility, grasping Emily's palm, hoping, just once, someone would appear for me. The subsequent morning, my parents rang. I picked up, to conclude it. Dad's tone was altered, composed, nearly frigid. We've consulted an attorney, Ava. What you've done is wrong. That crisis fund was established for everyone, not solely you. You're denying access to shared funds. You know we might pursue legal steps. I didn't waver. Dad, the crisis fund, the mobile service, every profile, you know whose name they're under. Mine. You've all utilized my accounts for years. If desired, I can forward the records to your attorney, display the inputs, the transaction logs. You'll observe that 95% of those funds are mine. No agreement, no binding pact. Just me. Supporting people who couldn't trouble to appear for their granddaughter's procedure. He faltered. You're committing a massive error. The relatives will never pardon you for this. I exhaled. I'm finally pardoning myself, Dad. That's sufficient. Mom attempted the blame tactic, naturally. Adam's marriage is destroyed. He can't acquire the outfit, we can't cover the photographer, what will others think? I resisted the impulse to enumerate every concession I'd made, every instance I'd funded another's urgency. Instead, I merely stated, you perpetually fret about others' opinions. Perhaps you should fret about how you handle your own kin. She disconnected on me. Within the hour, another wave of texts arrived. This time, more urgent. If you just forward something, we'll include Emily's name in the agenda. We'll inform all you contributed. Isn't that your desire? For years, I would have yielded. But now, I could only shake my head. The marriage invites were distributed that weekend. No reference to me or Emily, not even a subtle lament. My non-presence was the fresh family disgrace, and for once, I wasn't hastening to mend it. Instead, I brought Emily to the bookshop. We selected a large, shiny sticker collection and passed Saturday evening creating funny expressions at one another in the cooking area while treats baked. No rings, no disturbances, just us two, and a tranquility I'd overlooked was possible. But not all were finished. That Sunday at the market, Aunt Maya encountered me in the fruit section. Everyone's chatting, Ava. They claim you deserted your relatives. Adam's so distressed, he wept before the entire group last evening. Is cash truly worthwhile? For the first time, I met her gaze and declared, if prioritizing my child renders me self-centered, then I'm proud. Maybe if the relatives ever rang to inquire about Emily rather than just the crisis fund, circumstances would differ. She didn't respond, just gazed at the ground, then departed. 2.5 weeks post-Adam's marriage, while the social media picture collection with the coordinated outfits and artificial grins was still gathering approvals, I received a ring from Emily's academy. Her instructor, Mrs. Patel, sounded nearly emotional. "Ava, I wish to convey," Emily rose during sharing time and informed the group how she underwent heart procedure and that her mom was her champion. She stated, "My mom never abandoned me, even when others overlooked me. I believed you should hear." I ended the call and rested quietly at the dining surface. Emily's sticker collection spread before me. The residence was hushed save for her singing in her chamber. I understood in that instant that I wasn't forfeiting anything. I was finally embracing the existence I craved. No more urgent wires. No more remorse for inadequacy. That night, as we prepared the final treats, Emily inquired, "Can we welcome just one companion next? But only if she's truly kind to you." I grinned, sincerely. "Certainly, dear. Only those who appear for us." And as we nestled on the sofa for a film, my device remained wonderfully silent. I didn't browse social media. I ignored the shared conversation. For the first time in ages, I felt liberated. I know my relatives are still narrating their version. Perhaps they always will. But the sole validation I'll require is beside me, requesting another sleep tale. That's genuine relatives. And we're managing perfectly. If you're the one perpetually maintaining the relatives' unity, here's your nudge. You decide when it's sufficient. Sometimes securing the entrance is the most courageous and compassionate act for yourself and those who genuinely count.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.